it, bitch, you feeling it so real. Walking it, bitch, you feeling it so real. Walking it, bitch, you feeling it so real. Walking it, bitch, you feeling it so real. Living up in this world, and I don't know why. Oh, mine always in the blur, but I'm gon' reach the sky. Oh, if you ever fall over, I'll be the one. Oh, reach out your hands to me, and I promise it's gon' be done. Oh, the remedy. Oh, the remedy. Oh, what? Nigga, this what has begun. What? Nigga, this what has begun. Okay, so what if you got life together? Shit, you better run. The 12 multiple intelligences. What are the 12 multiple intelligences? You have 1. Linguistic intelligence, 2. Logical intelligence, 3. Musical intelligence, 4. Spatial intelligence, 5. Bodily intelligence, 6. Interpersonal intelligence, 7. Intrapersonal intelligence, 8. Naturalistic intelligence, 9. Analytical intelligence, 10. Creative intelligence, 11. Practical intelligence, and 12. Emotional intelligence. Let's start with number 1. What is linguistic intelligence? When you think about linguistic intelligence, what comes to mind? Some fancy ass word? Some forbidden recipe? Although we might have our definition, the most simple explanation of what linguistic intelligence is the ability to communicate and understand with others. A strong ability to learn, write, read, and use language effectively. How am I able to use this intelligence that we all carry? And why does this matter? It is a simple yet effective way to track your communication skills, especially with the BAR method. The BAR method will make sense after we go through all the intelligences. Now, how you're able to use this intelligence and build it up is through, for example, public speaking, debates, conversations, certain jobs like sales, or of course, reading. Evaluate yourself real quick. Is your communication skills at a spot where you're satisfied, or is there room for improvement? What is logical intelligence? When you think about logical intelligence, how is your logical thinking? What falls under logical intelligence is your ability to think abstractly, reason, calculate, and recognize patterns. Having a strong skill in problem solving and logical analysis. Now, how can I use this shit? You already use logical intelligence in your everyday when it comes to your problem solving, decision making, goal planning, analyzing emotions logically, your studying, and even in your music when it comes to arranging the hook, the verse, and the bridge. Shout out Monica Jim. To train this intelligence we all carry, you can journal the patterns you see in your day-to-days. You're using logic to optimize experiences, eliminate confusion, and make the flow smooth. You ask me, why does logical intelligence matter? I'll give you 6 reasons on why this would matter. 1. Better decision making. It helps you think before reacting. 2. Problem solving power, whether it be financially, emotionally, or for your relationships. Mental freedom. When the mind is cluttered, logic brings structure and control. 4. Protects you from manipulation. It helps you spot lies, emotional games, and fake narratives. 5. Balances emotion. Doesn't replace the emotion, but grounds it. 6. Success in any field. It's what separates random efforts from intentional success. What is musical intelligence? Music intelligence has to do with sound, the tone, the rhythms, the music. It is the ability to compose, perform, and appreciate music. It is how the brain connects to vibration, patterns, and emotional energy through sound. How is your musical intelligence? Your ability to identify melodies, harmonies, rhythms, and beats. Remembering tunes and lyrics easily. Creating songs or flowing naturally. Even if you don't train this, if you feel deeply connected to music, you're already using musical intelligence, my brothers and sisters. Come on. Why does this even matter, you may ask? Well, music is the language of emotions. People feel your message through it. It is communication beyond words, meaning sound can say what words can't. You can use it to inspire, uplift, or challenge thinking. Music can calm your nervous system, hype you up, or bring peace. And it can do the opposite as well. But all in all, it is a tool for emotional control. How you can use and build this is daily practice of listening actively. Don't just vibe out. Challenge yourself. What instruments do I hear? Treat your ear like a muscle. Train that motherfucker. What is bodily kinesthetic intelligence? Bodily intelligence is your ability to control your body with precision, express emotions or ideas through movement, use your hands or body to create, and the awareness of your body in spaces. Why this matters? Well, mind-body connection. Emotions and trauma are stored in the body, and movement helps release stress, process pain, and express what can't be said in words. Staying in tune with your body boosts mental focus, stamina, and emotional balance. Your body communicates your truth, is what we call body language. Bodily intelligence helps you feel grounded and alive. How you can use and build this: stretch, yoga, dance, martial arts, etc. It helps you reconnect with your body. Also, using breath work can help you check where you hold stress or tension. For my creative folks out there, try using your body during recording to bring more emotion into your voice. Practice your stage presence even before you perform. Mirror your work, posture, and energy. What is spatial intelligence? This is for my chess players, yo. The gift of visual imagination. Spatial intelligence is your ability to visualize, design, and understand space, images, and form, both in the real world and in your own imagination. It is how your brain turns ideas into visuals, sees patterns, and organizes the world around you, giving you the skills in design, navigating, and imagery. It is how graphic designers, architects, shout out to them architects, video editors, shout out to them editors, engineers, shout out to them engineers, and even stylists, shout out to them stylists. Think. Now Z, why the fuck does this matter? Well, I'm glad you asked. Spatial intelligence brings ideas to life. You can see your vision before it exists, then build it. It helps you clean up clutter, not just physically, but mentally. It is your superpower for standing out in a noisy ass world. With this intelligence, it lets you control the vibe. For my content creators out there, it makes people stop scrolling and say, yo, this shit look crazy. How to build and use your spatial intelligence. You can practice visual thinking, create mind maps, or draw your ideas before explaining them. You can also train your visual eye by studying art, fashion, movie scenes, and ask, what makes this pop? What patterns do I notice? What is interpersonal intelligence? Interpersonal intelligence is one of my favorites, I'm not gonna lie. It is your ability to understand, connect with, and influence other people. Emotionally, socially, and energetically. Feel the moods and feelings of others. Not just about being social, but also about reading the room. Feeling others' emotions and building trust. Gaining skills in communication, collabs, and empathy. The ability to understand others' emotions, communicate clearly and with empathy. Influence, inspire, or guide others. Resolve conflict, hold space, and support emotional healing. Build strong, authentic relationships, one-on-one, or in communities. Why this matters? Movements are built on relationships. People don't follow perfection, they follow realness, the foundation of leadership. It helps navigate through emotional conversations. Recognize when someone's being defensive versus vulnerable. How you can build or use it. Ask open-ended questions. Practice active listening. Oh, I spelled that shit wrong. What the fuck? Notice body language, tone, and silence. Host on platforms where you give others space to share. Reflect on past conversations. What worked, what didn't. What is intrapersonal intelligence? Now we got intrapersonal intelligence, your inner compass, the deep personal awareness that allows you to master yourself before trying to lead, heal, or inspire anyone else. Your ability to understand your own thoughts, emotions, and motivations. Reflect deeply and honestly. Navigate your inner world with awareness. Know your strengths, wounds, triggers, values, and goals. It helps you respond instead of reacting, because it's not just being alone with your thoughts. It's learning to sit with yourself, hear your own truth, and guide yourself through life's chaos with the ability to reflect and analyze oneself. Why? Why? Well, it helps you heal what you haven't said out loud. Forgive yourself for what you didn't know, and understand your own story with honesty, not shame. It gives you a clear answer on questions like, what do I really want? Why does this trigger me? What type of legacy am I building? Am I acting from love or fear? This self-awareness builds emotional clarity, and from that, you gain authentic confidence, not no fake hype, but real grounding. When you understand your own inner storms, your moods, your dark nights, your growth moments, you can speak with depth. You don't just talk at people, you become a mirror for them to see themselves. With intrapersonal intelligence, you don't chase validation. Oh no, I ain't done now. You don't chase validation, you give it to yourself. You know when you need rest versus when you're just procrastinating. You hold yourself accountable with grace, not guilt. You don't just process emotions, you transfer them. This is what creates a powerful leader. Social media, peer pressure, old generational trauma, all of it is loud. But intrapersonal intelligence gives you a quiet, strong inner voice that can say, that's not for me. I know my mission. I'm not here to impress. I'm here to impact. Man, that shit makes you unshakable. How you can use and build this? You can start out by journaling. Ask yourself, why did I feel that way today? Meditation or sitting in stillness, whether it be for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. No distractions, just you and your breath. Let thoughts come without judgment. In Psalm chapter 46, verse 10, be still and know that I am God. Voice notes to yourself. Speak your truth out loud and play it back. Mindful check-ins. You can create art, lyrics, or visuals based on your internal world. You can write books or create vlogs around your real, raw reflections. What is naturalistic intelligence? Naturalistic intelligence is the ability to recognize and classify patterns in nature. Plants, animals, weather, etc. Understanding and relating to nature, the environment, how systems are interconnected, nature, people, time, energy, and using observations of the natural world to make sense of the inner world. This is how ancient healers, herbalists, farmers, and indigenous thinkers passed down wisdom. It's not just liking animals, it's being in tune with the frequency of life itself. You realize you are nature, not separate from it. In a world full of screens, stress, and overstimulation, nature reconnects you with truth. Shoutout Bruno. Naturalistic intelligence reminds you healing takes seasons, growth takes roots, peace takes alignment. Storms are part of the process. If you ever felt numb, spiritually lost, angry without reason, emotionally stuck, then most likely your nervous system is out of sync. Spending intentional time with nature, going on walks, gardening, sunrises, watching that sunrise, stargazing, recalibrates your soul. Now this is essential for people raised in survival mode, kids or adults in cities disconnected from land, or trauma survivors seeking peace without words. Go ahead, take walks and observe, garden, touch some damn grass, or simply sit with your bare feet on the earth and get yourself right, gang. Now a little recap. So we have linguistic, logical, musical, spatial, bodily, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalistic. These 8 multiple intelligences was introduced by Harvard psychologist Howard Gardner, Theory of Multiple Intelligence, in his book Frames of Mind in 1983. And then we have Robert Sternberg, another leading psychologist, which added to the 8 in the 1980s: Analytical Intelligence, Creative Intelligence, and Practical Intelligence. And then we also have Emotional Intelligence. Peter S. and John M. coined the term emotional intelligence in 1990, but it was Daniel Goleman who made it famous in 1995 with his book Emotional Intelligence, that focused on 5 main skills: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. Analytical intelligence is the ability to break down problems, think critically and logically, analyze information, evaluate arguments, solve structured problems, judge, compare, and contrast. This kind of intelligence is most associated with IQ tests, academic success, and school smarts. This helps you understand abstract ideas, follow complex instructions, recognize patterns, and think through cause and effects. Think of it as your mental detective. Why this matters? It sharpens decision making. You don't just react emotionally, you think critically. It builds mental discipline that can apply to business plans, budgeting, editing projects, etc. It helps you avoid manipulation, making you ask, is this info valid? What are the facts? What's the source? It gives you intellectual independence, which is a must if you're trying to build something real in a world of lies, clickbait, and emotional traps. How you can build and use this: learn to debate or analyze. Pick a couple topics and ask, what are 3 strong arguments for and against this? What's the main point and supporting evidence? Or you want to take it a step further? Debate yourself. Study why it works in everything that you like. Why does my favorite song hit hard? Why does that YouTuber's thumbnail pull people in? Analyzing the why behind greatness trains your inner pattern finder. You can play brain games and logical puzzles. Train your mind to break down problems. What is creative intelligence? Creative intelligence is the ability to think outside the box, come up with new original ideas, combine unrelated concepts to form something new. Use imagination to solve problems in unique ways. The ability to create, design, invent, and imagine. It is not just about art or music. It is about how you respond to life with innovation. Think of it as your inner inventor. Now, why does this matter? It drives innovation. If there's no opportunity, I'll make one type of mindset. You feel me? It helps you adapt through chaos. People with creative minds pivot, remix, and experiment, not crumble. They build something out of nothing, even under pressure. It brings soul into your work. It fuels self-expression and healing, letting you process emotions in powerful ways like writing lyrics, designing visuals, storytelling through videos, or even creating new solutions to old trauma. How you can use it and build it is by daily free writing or freestyling. For my artists out there, ask what if questions and try creating without judgment. Shit, I'm talking to my perfectionists out there. What is practical intelligence? Practical intelligence is the ability to solve real-world problems, adapt to your environment, use common sense, apply knowledge in useful everyday ways, know what works, when, and how. Some may call it street smarts, but it's not about how much you know, but how well you can use what you know. Why does this matter? This is the intelligence of action. You may have the ideas, but practical intelligence turns them into results. It makes you resourceful. Life doesn't give you instructions. This helps you handle unexpected problems, work with limited tools, simply make things happen. It helps you read people and environments, and makes you independent. People high in practical intelligence don't wait around. They take initiative, figure things out, and learn as they go. It's perfect for entrepreneurs, artists, content creators, anyone building something from scratch. How can I use or build with this? Learn by doing. Trial and error is your best teacher. You can study people who know how to move. Watch how smart hustlers, entrepreneurs, and creators make deals, solve conflicts, use charm, and manage time and energy. Work smarter, not just harder. Ask for help. Use your environment like a toolbox. Your school, family, city, friends, internet, all are resources. And a little fun fact, Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P. King Nip, he done learn business from life, not from a textbook. What is emotional intelligence? It is the ability and the awareness to recognize, understand, and manage one's emotions. Recognize and understand the influence of others' emotions. Staying calm, grounded, and clear-headed in emotional situations. Why does this matter, you may ask? It gives you mastery over your reactions instead of lashing out, shutting down, or overthinking. You learn to pause, breathe, and respond intentionally, not emotionally. It deepens every relationship. You're able to read the room, comfort a friend, set boundaries without guilt, and resolve conflicts calmly. It is the #1 leadership skill, and it heals generational pain. When you understand your own emotions and patterns, you break cycles, parent better, love clearer, and are able to speak with your inner child. How you can use and build this? Practice emotional labeling. Instead of saying, nigga, I'm mad, say, I feel disrespected, I feel overwhelmed, I feel left out. Naming the emotion helps tame it. Journal and reflect. Become a better listener. Regulate before reacting. Deep breathing, stepping away from the situation, speaking only when calm. Give and receive empathy. It's okay to say, I'm not okay right now, as vulnerability equals strength. Now, recap of everything we talked about. We have an analytical, creative, practical, and emotional intelligence. Now, you remember when I mentioned a way of tracking all of these? You can draw yourself an XP-like bar and name each of the 12 bars with the intelligences. Now, evaluate yourself honestly on where you think you are, and the results will show what you need to work on. For an example, my linguistic intelligence, my communication skills, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that shit used to be like right here, I ain't gonna hold you. But being able to work in a sales job I was at, where I was hitting 60, 70 houses every day, Monday through Saturday, it forced me to work on my communication skills. All type of different people opening the door and still communicating what I need to communicate through them. And my interpersonal intelligence, understanding oneself, to this day still working on, daily. Every day is a new thing learned. These two are an example of how you can evaluate yourself. A full recap of everything we talked about: we got linguistic, which is communication, logical, mathematical, musical, sensitive to pitch, melody, rhythm, tone. Bodily, control over the body. Spatial, the power of the imagination. Interpersonal, understanding others. Intrapersonal, understanding oneself. Naturalistic, observing and understanding patterns in nature. Analytical, ability to analyze, judge, compare, and contrast. Creative, ability to create, design, invent, and imagine. Practical, ability to use, apply tasks into practice, street smarts. Emotional, awareness or the ability to manage one's emotion, able to feel what others feel, socially skilled. Bonus! Fluid intelligence. Welcome to the bonus stage. What the fuck is fluid intelligence? It is the ability to reason and solve new problems without relying on previously acquired knowledge. Imagine playing a brand new game you never played before. You figure out the rules just by observing and testing things out. That is fluid intelligence in action. It helps you think on your feet when things don't go as planned. It allows you to understand new concepts quickly. And with the high fluid intelligence, it makes it easier to adapt to new skills or technologies. It is important for creative thinking, innovations, and making good decisions without being stuck in old ways. It helps with fast-paced work environments and unfamiliar or high-risk situations. To strengthen this intelligence, mental training like puzzles, brain games, and mindfulness can benefit you in the short term. And for long term, factors like sleep, nutrition, exercise, or even stress plays a role. And then we have crystallized intelligence. What the fuck is that? Crystallized intelligence is accumulated knowledge and verbal skills gained from experience and education. Everything you learned over time throughout schooling, reading, life experiences, cultural exposure, courses, conversations, and observations. It is like a library of your mind. The more you learn and experience, the bigger the collection. Why would this matter? Well, for one, decision making. You draw on what you know to make wise, informed choices. 2, communication and expression. A richer vocabulary and understanding helps you express yourself clearly and powerfully. 3, teaching and leading. You can pass knowledge to others and contribute to group progress. 4, professional skills. Fields like law, teaching, medicine, or art relies heavily on crystallized intelligence. And 5, cultural identity. The more you know about your culture, history, and language, the stronger your self-awareness and connection with others. Fluid and crystallized intelligence. Raymond C. differentiated how we solve problems, fluid, versus what we learned, crystallized. Multiple intelligence theory. Howard Gardner proposed the original 8 intelligence, linguistic to naturalistic, in 1983. Again, linguistic being word smart, logical, mathematical, musical, sound smart, bodily, body smart, spatial, picture smart, interpersonal, people smart, intrapersonal, self smart, naturalistic, nature smart. And then we have Robert Sternberg that added analytical, academic problem solving, creative, imaginative thinking, practical, street smarts, and real world ability. And then we have emotional intelligence, Daniel G. You a G gang, which emphasized awareness of and the ability to manage emotions of oneself and others. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you took from this. Better rhyme, no, you gotta let life go venture, under the sun, go, talking to you, I'm speaking the lecture, this is for everyone, like these niggas thinking that they know, but when they say me, they faking for fun, packing your bags and leaving by the mall, I know you met me saying don't you be son, sorry mama when I come back I won, but don't wait for me, I'm grinding each day, don't got time for the bull, my mind is in space and I'm talking you whole, creative right, I'm sending them straight to the Lord, I'm up in my power, I'm pulling the soul, I'm up in my power, I'm pulling the soul, I'm not a religion but Christian Dior, I'm sniffing the hate coming out of the door, I open the door and see them on the floor. Now I'm Telling my people that's breathing. What you putting out is what you receive. When I'm conducting, I flow on the beat. She ain't these youngins say get out the street. All of that static, you begging for what? All of that static ain't what you believe. It's crazy how long we fighting for free. So shorty, my time cannot be free. I gotta charge $1, you cannot take me with a call, that's all. If I see you was a bother, then I'm out of here, you ain't gon' ever see me. Look at yourself in the mirror, and what do you see? A soul so deep in the water, but listen to me. What you put out, good or bad, is what you receive. What you put out, what you put out. Walking it, bitch, you feeling it so real. 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 Living up in this world, and